The Lost Village and the Brave Traveler. Once upon a time, there was a small village hidden deep in the mountains. This village was special. It was peaceful, beautiful, and everyone who lived there was kind and friendly. But the village had a secret. A long time ago, something terrible happened, and now, no one outside the mountains could find the village. It was lost to the world. One day, a young traveler named Leo was exploring the nearby towns. He was a curious and brave person who loved to go on adventures. While walking through one of the towns, he heard an old man talk about the lost village. The old man said, "There is a village high in the mountains, but no one has seen it in many years." Leo was fascinated by the story. A lost village, he thought to himself. I must find it. He packed his bag with food, water, and a warm jacket. The next morning, he started his journey up the mountain. The path was difficult, with steep hills and thick forests. But Leo didn't give up. He was determined to find the lost village. After days of walking, Leo came across an old, narrow bridge. It looked like it hadn't been used in years. As he crossed the bridge, he saw something strange on the other side, a sign, half broken, that read, "Welcome to Windflower Village." His heart raced. Could this be the lost village? Leo asked himself. Excited, Leo ran down the path until he reached the edge of the village. It was just as beautiful as the old man had said. The houses were made of stone, and flowers grew everywhere. But something was strange. The village was quiet. Too quiet. Leo walked around, but he didn't see anyone. "Hello? Is anyone here?" he shouted. But there was no answer. Suddenly, he heard a soft voice behind him. "Who are you?" Leo turned around and saw a young woman standing there. She had long, flowing hair and was dressed in simple clothes. "My name is Leo," he said. "I've been searching for this village. I heard it was lost." The woman smiled. "It was lost," she said, "but not anymore. You found it." Leo was confused. "What do you mean?" She explained, "Many years ago, our village was cursed by a powerful wizard. He made it so no one could find us unless they had a pure heart and a brave spirit. For years, we waited for someone to come and break the curse. And now, you're here." Leo was amazed. "So, I broke the curse?" The woman nodded. "Yes, because you didn't give up, and you believed in the village." Suddenly, the village came alive. People appeared from their homes, smiling and cheering. The flowers bloomed even brighter, and the air was filled with the sound of laughter and joy. Leo was a hero. The villagers thanked him and threw a big celebration in his honor. They told him stories about their lives and the curse that had kept them hidden for so long. Leo stayed in the village for a few days, enjoying the peace and beauty of the place. He made many new friends, and they taught him about the old ways of the mountains. But soon, it was time for him to leave. As he said goodbye to the villagers, the young woman gave him a small flower. "This is a windflower," she said. "It will remind you of us." Leo smiled and promised to return one day. He waved goodbye and began his journey back down the mountain. As he walked, he felt a sense of pride and happiness. He had found the lost village, and in doing so, he had made new friends and learned important lessons about courage and kindness. Moral of the story: this story teaches us that with determination, courage, and a kind heart, we can achieve great things. Sometimes, the path is difficult, but if we don't give up, we can find the treasure that is waiting for us, just like Leo found the lost village. The Adventure of Jack and Sarah. Jack and Sarah were best friends. They had been neighbors for as long as they could remember. Every summer, they would go on fun adventures together. This summer was no different, but little did they know, it would be their most exciting adventure yet. One bright and sunny day, Jack and Sarah decided to explore the forest near their town. They packed their backpacks with snacks, water, and a map. "Let's find something amazing today," Sarah said with excitement in her voice. Jack nodded. "Maybe we'll find hidden treasure." They set off early in the morning, walking along the familiar path into the forest. The birds were singing, and the breeze was gentle. It was a perfect day for an adventure. After walking for about an hour, they came across a narrow, winding path they had never seen before. "Should we take this path?" Jack asked, looking at Sarah. "Why not?" Sarah replied. "It looks like it could lead somewhere exciting." They followed the path, curious about where it would take them. As they walked deeper into the forest, the trees grew taller, and the air became cooler. Suddenly, they saw something shiny in the distance. Jack and Sarah looked at each other, eyes wide with curiosity. "What do you think it is?" Sarah whispered. "I don't know," Jack said, "but let's check it out." They hurried toward the shiny object, their hearts racing with excitement. When they got closer, they realized it was an old, rusty key. Jack picked it up and held it in his hand. What could this be for? He wondered aloud. "There must be a treasure nearby," Sarah exclaimed. "We just have to find the lock." Determined to find the treasure, they continued down the path. After walking for a while, they stumbled upon a large, ancient tree with a small wooden door at its base. The door was covered in moss and looked like it hadn't been opened in years. "Do you think the key fits this door?" Sarah asked. "Let's find out," Jack said, pulling the key out of his pocket. He carefully inserted the key into the lock and turned it. To their amazement, the door creaked open, revealing a dark passageway. Jack and Sarah looked at each other, both feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. "Should we go in?" Sarah asked. Jack nodded. "We've come this far. Let's see what's inside." They stepped through the door and into the passageway. It was dark and quiet, with only the faint sound of dripping water echoing around them. Jack took out his flashlight and pointed it ahead. As they walked further into the tunnel, they noticed something glimmering on the walls. "Look at that," Sarah said, pointing to the walls. The walls were lined with what looked like gold and silver coins, sparkling in the light of Jack's flashlight. "We've found the treasure," Jack shouted. They couldn't believe their eyes. The passageway led them to a small room filled with treasure chests, gold coins, and jewels. It was like something out of a fairy tale. Jack and Sarah stood there in awe, trying to take it all in. "We really did it," Sarah said with a smile. "We found the treasure." They spent some time exploring the room, amazed by everything they had found. They took a few coins as souvenirs, knowing that the real treasure was the adventure they had shared together. After a while, they decided it was time to head back. They carefully closed the door behind them and retraced their steps through the forest. As they walked home, they couldn't stop talking about their incredible discovery. "I can't believe we found a hidden treasure," Jack said. "And all because we followed a path we hadn't seen before," Sarah added. From that day on, Jack and Sarah always looked for new adventures, knowing that the world was full of surprises waiting to be discovered.